Alright guys, today I've got a 2002 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 dual rear wheels. I spent at least a good close to an hour off and on trying to find the right diagram or the right assembly method for these rear e-brake shoes on this truck. Now this does have disc brakes. You know, the caliper's sitting here and I got a new rotor pressed on back there. But normally when you take these off, you do one side at a time, the way you can reference off of the existing. Well, this truck, it was a landscape truck, so salt, plow, you know, you name it, everything was rusted away and gone. I've had to replace this backing plate because there was none, and so to get this guy off, you've actually got these 4 bolts you see right here, these 4 nuts. So when those 4 nuts come off, this whole bracket assembly, where's the bottom ear? Right here, this whole piece comes off. And these are actually, if you can see, like a lug stud for your wheels. You've got a knurling behind this head here for so far of the shaft because they're actually press fitted into this piece, and the nuts hold them in place. But that press fitting goes through the new plate, so you've got to press the old ones out or beat them out. But I recommend to press, that way you don't booger the threads up on the studs. If you've got access to a press, you already know that makes life a whole lot easier than vice versa when you go to reassemble it. The main point of this video was this guy here, the shoes. Now the shoes themselves do not identify as top, bottom, or what say you, but if you look at the shoe itself, you can tell from here down it's actually just one slot. Okay, and what I mean by that is it has an arch that starts from here, tip of my fingernail, to about right here behind this green spring. It's just a big curve. Okay, it's like a big arch. Now on the bottom of your pad, it's actually got a dimple cut here and a dimple cut right here to accept this e-brake actuator or expander, whatever you want to call it. And this is fixed. This is fixed to that piece that I pulled off, which is this guy here. It's all one piece. So once you get that on, this assembly piece, obviously you want this to where it's pulling from your e-brake. Your e-brake mounts here. So what it's going to want to do under full e-brake is it's going to pull back on this lever right here. It's going to pull back. So you have to assemble this in the forward position to where, see the way it's shaped? The hook is to the front. That way, when you go to put your e-brake cable back on, no, I can't pull this back the spring with one hand, but that way that square slot, that hole, fits over in the position against this, if I get here, against this guy where it's never going to pull out. So when it pulls, it needs to pull this direction, and at full rest it's forward. So when you pull on that, when it gets pulled e-brake depressed, you're going to see, to test this is working right, you can see this expand. So you can see that working. So if you look from back here, you've actually got an expansion of brake pads. Now you'll get that all adjusted up where you don't want them quite dragging. On an e-brake set, you want them to touch just a little bit, and then you back off a touch, for like trailers and things like that. But for e-brake assembly, it doesn't need to make full contact all the time. It's just for your parking brake. Your main stopping power is going to come from this, and when you hit the brakes, that's all you're going to get. None of this is going to work when you hit the brakes unless you depress the e-brake pedal. The adjustment here goes to the rear, which kind of makes sense because it offsets to this adjustment slot on the back. I mean, you can see my finger. I mean, it's pretty tight between the frame and there. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of room, but you can still get one of those tools in there. And this being a dual, it's going to be a little rougher, so it's best to get this close before you close everything up, or else you're going to have a pain in the butt